Dragonfly looks up into the noon sky and notices another smaller bird circling above the crow's nest. Its tail split into two longer points at each end. Curious at the sight of this peculiar-looking bird, Dragonfly flies up to the top of the listing mast. The winds, salt air, and the act of flying itself feels quite different out at sea, with the ship in movement, than when it was resting in stillness by the shore. Dragonfly comes to rest atop the mast, and the small bird cocks its head to the side and peers its eye at him and then widens. "We be nearing the point of no return." "No return?" Dragonfly asks in a shout up to the bird. "Aye," says I, "the point too far out to be returning to the shore, for here and out we be emanating from the source and back to the beginning. 'Tis the only way back, 'tis onward," says I. The bird lands beside him, and Dragonfly then sees that it has one eye missing and the other is milky white. The milky white eye blinks as it appears to Dragonfly to see him, but he cannot be sure if it truly sees. "Can you see?" Dragonfly asks. "See? Aye. I see all the sea, Landflyer. What be ye?" Dragonfly raises his inquisitive eye. "Be ye?" "Aye, your story, lad. What it be? Tell you truth, old Captain Swallowtail, now." "The truth of my story." "Aye, thar be heart and ache in your story, I see and hear. 'Tis the ultimate story, lad. Your journey back, the place beyond time." "Beyond time. It's been a fool's story, I believe, Captain Swallowtail." "Bah! Bah! Aye, lad, 'tas. 'Tas to be sure and certain. Fool as sea foam you are, but heart, lad, heart you be and have, I see. Fool to the beginning, fool to the end, lad." "Aye." "Bah! Aye," says he. "Well done, lad. We'll be making an old sea dog of ye yet. The fool knowing nothing at the ending is different than the nothing at the beginning." Dragonfly nods and smiles, lowering his gaze as he remembers. The fool knows nothing. "Aye, lad, you have it. Stay true to the beginning mind, lad, all the way through to realizing and knowing nothing and the enlightening." Dragonfly raises his head and looks again at Captain Swallowtail. "Enlightening? "Aye, lad, enlightenment. 'Tis the fulfilling of all your wishes and dreaming by the powers of grace. When discovering what your highest dreams truly be, 'tis true immortality, lad. Your absence of suffering." "Swallow." "Captain, lad, don't you be forgetting the captain." "Captain Swallowtail, do you know where this ship is going?" "Heading, lad, she be heading." "Where is she headed?" "Aye, lad, ye be thinking you're travelling into the future, but ye aren't. You're heading back, lad, back to the beginning. Be sure, lad, there'll be a beauty of an ending to the story." Dragonfly pauses a moment and searches through those words. "You know the ending to the story?" "Nay, lad, where be the fun o' that, eh? 'Tis only to be knowing she being a beauty, 'tis all." Dragonfly pauses again. "How do you know it won't end ugly?" "You win by losing, lad. Surrender to her, boy. Give up your power, your identity. Be giving up all them attachment you be having to the outcome of the story. Then, lad, then she can be using you to find you the perfect ending." Dragonfly inhales. "Aye," he says to the exhale. "Aye, lad. All you cannot do is follow the emanating." "The emanation," Dragonfly reiterates. Aye, lad, hear me true. 'Tis nae a tale told by an idiot for a sound and fury signifying nothing. Captain Swallowtail hops close to Dragonfly and inspects him again with his milky white eye, and then hops back. Give a listen now to the tale of the New Haven storm ship. A many and more centuries ago, in the haven of the new land, who even at the early day exhibited an enterprise that has been a distinguishing feature of the new people. A ship were sent to the land of the Eyrie to try and develop a commerce. Their trading posts on the land of the war having been broken up by the high north voyagers from across the great ocean. Now, when our agent and captain set sail in the winter, the harbor was so beset with ice that a track had to be cut in through the floes to open waters, 5 leagues distant. She had, moreover, to be dragged out to the stern foremost, an ill omen, the sailors thought. And as she swung before the wind and passing drift, a fog concealed her, for a moment, from the gaze of those on shore, who from this foretold things o' evil. Though large and anew the ship was so walty inclined to roll she was, the captain set her off with misgiving, and she moved away. The crew heard the solemn disheartening invocation from a clergyman on the wharf. Lord, if it be thy pleasure to bury those our friends in the bottom of the sea, take 'em. They are thine. Save 'em. Winter she passed. So indeed the spring, still the ship she came not. But one afternoon in the summer, just as a rain hadn't passed, some chillins cried, "There's a brave ship!" For flying upon the harbour with full sail set and flaunting colours was a vessel, the very mould of our ship. The clergyman said, strange to tell, she was going flat against the wind. No sailors twere on her deck. She did not toss with the fling of the waves. There was no ripple in at her bow. As she came close to land, a single figure appeared upon the quarter, pointing seaward with a cutlass. Suddenly her main top fell, her masts toppled down from their holds, the dismantled hulk careened and went down, and down she went under. A cloud dropped from heaven, and brooded for a time above in the place where it had vanished. And when it lifted the surface, oh, the sea was empty and still. The good folk of the new land, having not believed how the fate of the absent ship hadn't been revealed, at last, for she never came back, and the captain 'twere never heard from since. As Captain Swallowtail finishes his story, he blinks his milky eye at Dragonfly, turns his head and appears to examine him with a scarred, absent eye. "Be seeing you, lad." "What?" "Aye, Captain." "What?" Captain Swallowtail opens his wings. The wind picks him up with ease, and he dives down the mast of the ship, soaring swiftly across the great swells of the sea, and then up and up into the sky, disappearing into the clouds.